Good morning, Meshach. It's Thursday, March 24th. And in my last video, in like the first 2 minutes, I think, of the video, there's like an egregious editing mistake because there was a crescendo in the music, and when I was going back and fixing all the levels, I would go to the beginning of the clip and then fix the audio level, and then I would go to the next clip and keep doing that, and then when I was checking the video at the end to make sure everything was alright, I just scrubbed right through it, and so I ignored the like giant crescendo in the music that completely covered my voice, and my dad pointed it out to me when he watched the video. So all of that to say, I'm sorry about that. It just means that I'll have to do it again. Which is okay, because what I did in that video is one of my favorite things to do, not just for videos, but like period. In case you haven't checked out that video already, which you totally should do, what I did was, while I was in Chicago, I went to the Bean and I just spoke with strangers. I didn't really give a timeline, but you guys did see that it shifted from being like midday to nighttime. I think I was down there for, well, let's think about this, around 5 hours of talking to strangers, and for some reason I was having a crazy high hit rate. Like every single person that I approached to ask if they were interested in doing the video was down. As I mentioned in the description of that video, I didn't get to show all the footage that I got, but I spoke to like 100 people. It was ridiculous, because most of the time, you know, I was only talking to someone for like 30 seconds. Anyways, all of that to say that my last video had me talking to strangers downtown for like 5 hours. And it's not like I spoke to like 1 or 2 strangers for a long time. No, I was speaking to like a bajillion people. And guess what? None of the experiences that I had were unpleasant. But that's not all. As you've seen, even on this channel, I've done this pretty regularly. I go downtown and I talk with strangers, I go downtown and I play chess with strangers, or I interview them, or whatever, and in all the times that I've done this, I've never had like a bad or mean or confrontational experience with a stranger. Which I've been thinking about today, because last night I was speaking with strangers at like 4 a.m. Sam, yes, character I'm portraying for this video, why were you speaking with strangers at 4 a.m. last night? It was a Wednesday. Okay, yeah, good question. Short answer, I went to a bar. Long answer, I'm a senior in college, so I went to a bar on Wednesday. Anyways, as I was speaking to these strangers, I realized that they were perfectly pleasant and fun to be around, and I got their Instagrams, and we talked about mental health and relationships and stuff like that, and it was a really fun, pleasant time. So combining my experience in Chicago and combining my experience here and just my world view, my fundamental beliefs about what humans are like, I wanted to discuss the idea that stranger danger is wrong. Sam, what do you want? Don't we use that phrase to like protect children and stuff, and we don't really mean that all strangers are dangerous? We just mean that like children shouldn't be walking up to people they don't know. Okay, yeah, another fair point. I think that's true, but I also think we have this notion in our heads that strangers are dangerous or intimidating or something other, but it's really not the case. Strangers are just people, and some of those people are going to be dangerous. But the majority of people are like people that you would meet anywhere. And I think once you have that realization, it opens the world up so much, because it means that all the other people in the world aren't just NPCs that you have to like deal with or navigate around. They're suddenly like people that you can interact with and speak to, which at least for me is really fun. People that know me and see me on campus or at school or whatever will know that I compliment like everyone. I dish out like 1,000 compliments a day, because as it turns out, when you compliment people, they're just humans, and they like hearing that. And there's no reason why we can't just compliment strangers. In the same way, there's no reason why you can't talk with strangers that you meet at a bar on a Wednesday. Except for that, I don't endorse going to bars on Wednesdays most of the time. Oh, hello, son. And think about it. Every single person that you've ever met that is not your biological family were at some point strangers. All your best friends were at some point strangers to you. And the same is true of all the friends that you are going to make. They are strangers to you now, but eventually you'll be really close with them. Also, to a lot of the people that I'm speaking to right now, I am a stranger. All your favorite internet personalities are strangers. And while parasocial relationships don't translate well to the real world always, I don't think that I'm dangerous, and I think the same is true of all the people behind their keyboards. The vast majority of people in general are not dangerous people, and the vast majority of people are strangers to you. So while obviously you should do everything that you can to keep yourself and the ones you care about safe, I do think we should be a little bit more comfortable speaking with strangers, because that can lead to a lot of good opportunities and connections and friendships, and because it also makes like ordering ketchup at a McDonald's much easier when you just realize it's a person who's there to like get some money, and if it means handing ketchup to you, they don't really care. Like, oh my gosh, when you're a kid and you're like stranger danger and you're thinking about walking up to this strange person at a McDonald's and asking for ketchup, it's horrifying. Like, your parents will tell you, oh come on, go ahead, do it, as if they haven't been teaching you your whole life that strangers are dangerous. But if you come to the realization that strangers are not dangerous and they are just people and that person is there for their wage, then they're probably gonna be fine handing you ketchup, because if you ask any stranger, they're probably fine handing you ketchup, even the dangerous ones. I don't know if any of this has made sense. I'm sitting back in my chair right now and realizing that this whole video might not make sense out of my own head. What I'm trying to say is that strangers can be pretty dope and are not necessarily dangerous. And if we can place our trust in each other a little bit more, the world might be a better place. That's what I'm trying to say. So do a random act of kindness this week for a stranger. Buy the person behind you lunch, or just try and dish out as many compliments as you can. Or have a real honest conversation with someone you don't know. Okay, that is all. To all of you internet strangers, I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Don't be dangerous to prove me wrong. Meshach, schmackers, strangers. I'll see all you guys on Monday.